thank you for tuning in. There's something special about you, and your heart knows it. You didn't find this message by accident. This is one of those divine moments where heaven leans in close to whisper something important to your soul. You've been sensing that your love story is not ordinary, and you're right. The angels have been watching closely, and today, they're unveiling a truth that will finally bring clarity to the emotional whirlwind you've been feeling. Yes, this message is about your soulmate, but more specifically, it's about their past, the one connection they thought they moved on from, but it still casts a long shadow. The angels say your soulmate's ex is a secret celebrity, someone well-known, admired, perhaps even idolized by the world, but unknown to you until now. And their fame, their influence, and their spiritual weight, it's all been affecting your love life more than you realized. Before we go deeper, let me remind you of something sacred. You are not waiting in vain. God is not delaying your destiny out of punishment, but out of perfect timing. There's a reason you haven't seen full movement in your romantic journey yet. The heavens are untangling knots you cannot see. And one of those knots is this very connection, your soulmate's entanglement with someone from their past who still carries a spiritual presence, even though they're physically apart. This person, this famous ex, may appear powerful, successful, and outwardly admirable, but spiritually, not everything has been pure. The angels are revealing that there were hidden soul ties formed between your soulmate, and this individual tie is not based on love, but rooted in performance, control, image, and sometimes manipulation. While the world applauded their relationship, heaven mourned because your soulmate was never free to love deeply from the heart. Many times, the person you're destined to be with goes through seasons where they are reshaped, humbled by life, stripped of idols, and reawakened to the voice of God. And right now, your soulmate is in that refining fire. They are awakening. They are discovering that what the world calls a dream relationship was actually a spiritual delay to their true covenant with you. This is why God has kept you hidden for a season. He's been preparing you while also protecting you. Because if you had entered this love story too soon, you would have been stepping into a battlefield where fame and spiritual warfare were still clashing. Instead, God has been shielding your heart from unnecessary confusion. Psalm 32:7 says, "You are my hiding place. You will protect me from trouble and surround me with songs of deliverance." That has been your story, even if you didn't fully realize it. Now the tide is turning. The angels say your soulmate is cutting ties, not just with a person, but with an identity that was wrapped around that connection. They're no longer seeking validation through fame, followers, or flattery. They're rediscovering their identity in Christ. And in doing so, they're becoming free to love truly, deeply, and spiritually. But you may have felt the weight of this battle in your own soul. Perhaps lately you've had dreams that didn't make sense. Maybe you felt unseen, forgotten, or even spiritually blocked in your romantic life. That's because fame carries a spiritual vibration that can cloud clarity. And when someone is tied to a person who is known and celebrated by the world, their spirit can feel divided. That's what your soulmate has been going through. But the good news is this: God is releasing you both into a season of divine clarity. Isaiah 43:19 declares, "See, I am doing a new thing. Now it springs up. Do you not perceive it?" This is the moment where what was hidden is coming to light. Not to embarrass, not to accuse, but to free. God reveals to heal, not to shame. Your soulmate is being spiritually cleansed of everything that attached to them through that past relationship. The weight of comparison, the influence of public opinion, the fear of not being enough, it's being broken off. And as their heart opens again, it's turning toward you, toward the person God designed to walk with them in truth, love, and emotional safety. Now let me speak to your heart, because I know this may feel like a lot to process. If you've been wondering why there's been such a delay, why it feels like your prayers are floating in the air without answers. Please, know this, nothing has been wasted. God has been doing more behind the scenes than you can imagine. You have been chosen to partner with someone whose calling is big, but whose heart has been bruised by fame's illusions. You are being positioned to be their piece, not their project. You are not entering their life to fix them, but to walk beside them as they discover who they really are in God. That's why the angels needed you. To hear this message, you're being called to love someone who is letting go of counterfeit glories. Someone who once loved the spotlight, but now longs for sacred stillness. Someone who is walking away from public applause to enter a love that's private, holy, and protected by God. This is not a fairy tale, friend. This is a divine love story, and it includes you. Jeremiah 29:11 reminds us, "For I know the plans I have for you, declares the Lord. Plans to prosper you and not to harm you. Plans to give you hope and a future." This includes your love life. This includes your marriage. This includes your emotional healing. So what do you do now? You stay in position. You keep praying, not from panic, but from peace. You ask God to continue healing anything in your heart that feels afraid, jealous, or unworthy. And you trust that your time is not just coming, it's being prepared. The angels say, the fame of your soulmate's past relationship is being dismantled in the spirit, and your union is being elevated in the sight of heaven. There will come a day when you'll see clearly why things had to unfold this way. But for now, rest in this truth. You are already seen, already chosen, already deeply loved. Even now, God is speaking to their heart in dreams and gentle whispers. Your name, your spirit, your love, it's been planted in them by divine design. They're beginning to remember that what they've been looking for was never in the spotlight. It was in the quiet, in the sacred, in someone like you. So as we close this message, I want to invite you to hold on to this divine truth. You are not missing out. You are not second best. You are not forgotten in the shadows of someone else's fame. You are God's best kept promise, and He is getting ready to reveal you in the right season, to the right person, in the right way. And when it happens, you'll understand why it had to be now, and not sooner. If this message stirred something in your spirit, I invite you to like this video as an act of agreement with what heaven is speaking. Comment below with this faith-filled phrase, "God is freeing my soulmate and preparing our holy union." Don't forget to subscribe and stay connected for more videos just like this, because your love story is unfolding, and God is not done speaking. And beloved, let this word settle deeply into your heart, because in the coming weeks, you may begin to feel shifts both spiritually and emotionally. Don't be surprised if you feel moments of sudden peace or unexpected tears. That's healing. That's release. That's the Holy Spirit gently removing any residue of fear, doubt, or confusion that this past soul time might have caused in your energy field, even from a distance. Yes, even though you may have never met your soulmate's ex, or even your soulmate, yet the spiritual realm is not bound by time or location. If your soul has been chosen to join in covenant with someone who has been entangled with powerful past connections, then it's only natural that your spirit has sensed the delay, the resistance, or even the silent longing. But now the spiritual transaction is taking place. Your soulmate is making a decision in their heart that is more powerful than any public post, tabloid headline, or past photograph. They're choosing wholeness. They're choosing emotional purity. And most importantly, they're choosing God. You see, when someone begins to truly walk with God, they no longer chase image. They no longer perform for love. And they no longer settle for connections that feel flashy but leave the soul empty. Your soulmate is learning this. And through that process, they're being shaped into someone who is safe, solid, and ready to build something eternal with you. This is why your prayers have mattered. Every time you asked God to remove the wrong people from their life, He listened. Every time you cried out for clarity, for peace, for alignment, angels moved. And every time you stood in faith instead of fear, heaven recorded it as righteousness. Are not being overlooked. You are being honored. Romans 8:28 reminds us, and we know that in all things, God works for the good of those who love Him, who have been called according to His purpose. That includes the pain you didn't understand. That includes the waiting. That includes the silent spiritual battles you didn't even know you were fighting on behalf of a love you haven't fully seen. But guess what? The tables are turning. Heaven is restoring what the enemy tried to distort. Your soulmate is beginning to feel the release from that old chapter. Their eyes are being opened to truth. Not just truth about the person they used to love, but truth about who they really are, about what they really need, about who you are to them and why you feel so familiar, even if they can't quite explain it yet. They may not be fully free just yet, but they are getting there. And each day, they are choosing the sacred over the superficial, the divine over the dramatic. And soon, they will choose you not because you competed for their attention, but because you stood in peace and trusted God. Now, I know it's. Proverbs 4:23 says, "Above all else, guard your heart, for everything you do flows from it." And that's what God has been doing for you, guarding your heart. That's why some doors didn't open yet. That's why certain messages were delayed. That's why it felt like time was standing still. But God wasn't standing still. He was moving in mercy, slowing down your steps so you wouldn't run ahead into unnecessary heartbreak. And now you are being ushered into a season of emotional clarity and divine favor. Can you feel it? That stirring inside your chest? That's the confirmation. That's the whisper from heaven that says, your love story is being rewritten with holy ink. You won't have to fight for a place in their heart. You won't have to beg for attention or compete with anyone's memory. What God is doing is pure. And what is yours will never need to be stolen. It will be revealed. Friend, your soulmate is waking up. And soon, they will see that the true treasure was never in the spotlight. It was in the hidden place, the sacred place, the place where God has been shaping you. So while the world continues to chase after glitter, you stay rooted in glory. You keep your eyes fixed on what is eternal, and you keep your heart anchored in faith. Because what's coming will not be ordinary. Your relationship will not be built on image, but intimacy. Not status, but substance. Not followers, but faith. And that's why it will last. This is a prophetic love story. And heaven is watching it unfold. So today, take a moment to release any fear you've been holding. You don't need to wonder if you're enough. You don't need to worry about their past. You don't need to panic about timing. Just rest. Rest in the knowledge that God has already seen the end from the beginning, and He calls it good. If this message reached your heart, please like this video as a sign of your agreement with God's perfect timing. Leave a comment below with these faith-filled words. God is freeing my soulmate and preparing our holy union. And if you haven't already, subscribe and stay connected to this channel, because more divine confirmations, words of encouragement, and heavenly insight are coming just for you. You're not just part of a story. You're part of a miracle. Your soulmate is coming home, not just to you, but to God. And everything that was once used to delay your love will now be used to bless it. And while you wait, know this deeply: God is not only writing your love story, He is refining you into the kind of love that heals, honors, and lasts. You're not waiting for just anyone. You're being aligned with someone who has seen the world, who has tasted the heights of attention, but who now craves something eternal. And God chose you not because of outward flash, but because of the substance of your soul. You are the one who will love them in truth, who will see beyond the surface, who will nurture the broken places that no fame, fortune, or public praise could ever reach. You're not just a partner. You're a promise fulfilled. So don't let the enemy torment you with thoughts of comparison or insecurity. The fame of their ex was never a threat to your future. It was simply a test. A test of faith, a test of identity, and a test of divine timing. You passed the test every time you chose to pray instead of panic. Every time you stayed rooted in peace when fear whispered you were being left behind. Every time you said, "God, I trust you," even when you didn't see the full picture. Heaven saw that. Heaven honored that. And now, heaven is rewarding that. Hebrews 10:35-36 reminds us. So do not throw away your confidence. It will be richly rewarded. You need to persevere so that when you have done the will of God, you will receive what He has promised. Your promise is not being delayed, it's being delivered. Yes, there may still be moments when the enemy tries to stir up old doubts. He may whisper that you're not as glamorous, as popular, or as appealing as the one who came before you. But let me remind you, what God builds isn't based on popularity. It's built on purpose. You carry a love that restores identity. You carry the kind of compassion that fame can't fabricate. You carry the kind of faith that breaks generational cycles. You carry the kind of presence that brings peace to chaotic hearts. And when your soulmate is finally free from the noise of their past, it will be your voice, calm, steady, rooted in truth, that becomes their anchor. Your presence will not compete with their past. It will redeem it. That's why it's taken time. That's why it hasn't been easy. That's why the angels have been so intentional about keeping you spiritually guarded until the right moment. And that moment is getting closer. You may begin to notice divine signs, sudden dreams, unexpected peace, messages that align perfectly with what your spirit has been sensing. Pay attention. Heaven is confirming the transition. Not just for your soulmate, but for you. You've waited long enough. You've cried long enough. You've asked the hard questions in secret places, wondering if your love story would ever begin. But the angels are whispering now. It's beginning. And it will be more sacred than you imagined. This next chapter will not come with confusion. It will come with clarity. You will not have to fight to be seen or understood. Your soulmate will recognize your value. Not because you pushed or proved yourself, but because God revealed you at the appointed time. And when you meet, whether it's for the first time or reconnecting after a long separation, it won't feel like starting over. It will feel like coming home. They will see you, not just with their eyes, but with their soul. And you will feel in that quiet, holy moment that this was what all the waiting, praying, healing, and preparation was for. Friend, don't let the noise of the past rob you of the joy that's coming. You are not defined by who your soulmate used to be with. You are not in competition with their past. You are the one God kept sacred. The one hidden in prayer. The one protected by angels. The one chosen to walk with them into their destiny, not just as a lover, but as a spiritual partner in purpose. And even now, that destiny is unfolding. Isaiah 60:22 declares, "When the time is right, I, the Lord, will make it happen." So rest in that. Let it sink into your bones. When the time is right, it will happen. And not a moment too soon or too late. In the meantime, keep preparing your heart. Keep walking in grace. Keep praising God for what you cannot yet see. Because one day soon, you will look back and thank God that He took His time, that He protected your path, that He healed your soulmate's heart before they came into yours. You will thank God that even though their ex was a celebrity, you were the miracle. Before we close this message, if you haven't already, please like this video to let heaven know you're in agreement with the timing and release of your love story. Comment below with this declaration of faith. God is freeing my soulmate and preparing our holy union. And don't forget to subscribe and stay connected to this channel. We're walking this journey together, and more words of divine encouragement are on the way, each one sent to keep you strong, grounded, and aligned with heaven's plan. So, prepare your heart, not just for a relationship, but for a revival of purpose. Because what you and your soulmate are about to step into isn't just personal, it's prophetic. You've been hidden for a reason. You've been covered for a season, but now, God is calling it forth. Song of Songs 8-7 says, "Many waters cannot quench love. Rivers cannot wash it away." That's the kind of love you are being aligned with. The kind that's not afraid of history. The kind that survives scrutiny. The kind that is born of heaven and will be protected by heaven. In friend, the wait is almost over. There's a shift taking place, even now as you listen. You may not see it in the physical yet, but in the spiritual, angels are already moving. Old attachments are breaking. Wrong relationships are dissolving. Truth is being revealed. And hearts are being made ready. Your soulmate is coming home, not just to a location, but to their identity. And when they do, they'll be able to love you in the way they always wanted to, but couldn't until God did His work. That's what divine timing is. It's not just waiting, it's working. Behind the scenes. In hearts, in healing, in spiritual realms we cannot see. So trust it. Rest in it. Because when it finally happens, it will happen quickly. Suddenly, supernaturally. And it won't be because you chased it, but because you prepared for it. Your quiet obedience is building a foundation for a love story that won't shake in the storms. Your faithfulness is creating space for a partnership that will reflect God's glory. And your patience is setting the stage for a miracle that only heaven could orchestrate. So take a breath. Let peace settle over you now. You are not behind. You are not forgotten. You are not too late. You are right on time. God knows how to take what was once tangled in the spotlight and transform it into something radiant in the spirit. You won't have to explain yourself. You won't have to overcompensate for anyone's past. You won't have to earn love through striving or fear.